Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. For those we haven't seen in a while, we're the Duhan kids, Nikki, Sarah, and Robbie. Everyone's here today to honor a very special lady. You all knew her in a different capacity, and she touched each of you in a unique way. She was extremely loyal, committed, and passionate about the things that were important to her. Serving and compassion were her gifts, and she used them in multiple aspects and arenas. Here are some of the things we loved about Mom most. Mom was always the life of the party, no matter what the occasion. She was there to have fun and to enjoy people. As young children, we didn't always get to see that side of her at home. We got Mom, a loving caregiver that was stern and had high expectations. I'll never forget the time she arrived home from a trip to Mexico with Dad with crutches and a boot on her foot. We were young children, concerned and wondering, did she fall down the stairs? Did she trip on her luggage? Did she get hurt by a bad guy? Nope. Just a little limbo accident on the beach while having too much fun. To say we were shocked is an understatement. Our sweet Dad was always just along for the ride. I wish we could count up all the hours he just quietly followed her around parties and events over their 52 years of marriage. I'm sure the number would be astronomical. Mom loved people. She loved serving, she loved helping, and she loved visiting. Many of the memories we have of this church involve trying to drag her out of the narthex every single Sunday while she finished up 100 different conversations. Mom was a friend to all, and I mean all. That is, unless you crossed someone she loved. She was a fiercely loyal friend and would do anything for those she cared about. Our childhood was filled with bringing meals to people, babysitting random kids, and helping out just because that's what you do. Even after Mom's memory faded and she could no longer communicate, she would light up any time someone approached her. People would always ask, "Does she remember me?" There was honestly no way to tell. Her loving demeanor was always the same, whether you were someone she was meeting for the first time or someone she had deeply loved for years. That was just her nature. Family was most important to Mom. Yes, she loved being a wife and mother, but her greatest joy was being a Mimi. I always told my kids, this is not the woman I grew up with. She gave them whatever they wanted, let them stay up late, and didn't mind when they made messes. My kids' best memories of her include playing baseball in the yard, swimming in the pool, reading books, shopping for school clothes, and sleeping on a pallet on the floor with her. Her back and neck would regret it the next day, but it never stopped her. They are thankful for the traditions she created with them, baking Christmas cookies, decorating the Christmas tree, and dyeing Easter eggs together. These are memories that will live forever with them and traditions I hope they pass on to their own kids.
I had the pleasure of working with Mom at the dental office for a time. Working right alongside her, she taught me the job. She trained me in all of it. It had to be her way. She was the expert because she had done this forever. And she was right. She was always right. I remember being so impressed with her work ethic, her expectation for things to be done right, because that's just what you do. And the amount of energy that she had as an old woman. I was in my 20s at the time. Above all of those things, and those were impressive, was the level of love and care that she had for her patients. She was kind, she was gentle, and she could comfort people with just her smile and a touch. She loved her job, and she loved her patients like they were family. Tradition and family were always a priority to Mom. This was taught to us throughout our childhood as we traveled to Orange every year to see family for Christmas. It was her favorite time of the year, and these were some of our best family and childhood memories. I remember Mom and her siblings laughing and joking while cooking Christmas dinner in the kitchen. And after her mom, our granny passed away. She worked hard to make new traditions for us as our family was growing and grandkids started to arrive. She loved shopping for them and getting to join in the exciting Christmas morning festivities again. This brought her so much joy. Before her diagnosis, Mom started to teach me how to cook her mom's recipes. And we would share the kitchen usually the day before Christmas, making Granny's stuffing and her pecan pie. I love that I now get to keep those traditions alive. Christmas was so special to her, and we believe it was her plan to go during Christmas so that we would always have to focus on her being with us during this time.
So I think all of you know our mom is a sweet, loving, caring woman, and she was, but she was also really tough, like my sister said. One of my favorite stories is when I was a kid, I had this little toy gun that I'd wear on my right hip and this He-Man sword that I'd wear on my left. And she told me I needed to take them off. We were going somewhere, probably church. And I said no. And so I darted out the back door, running as fast as I can. And Kate, our family friend, said, "Dang, I didn't know Miss Marian could run." And she got me. And, I realized saying no to my mom was not a good idea. She was a force of nature. She did not let anybody push her around, and she taught us kids to stand up for ourselves and to stand up for what we believe in. My sisters talked a little bit about shopping with Mom or Mimi. Growing up, she just went overboard to make sure new school clothes shopping, birthdays, Christmases were so special. And it wasn't until I was a teenager that I realized how much all that stuff cost, and realizing that she worked so hard for all of those years because she wanted to give us everything that we wanted, everything that we needed. She just wanted us to feel special. Just last week, my sisters and I were at Kohl's buying stuff so the family would have it for the funeral, and we started talking about her eulogy in line, and we said she would be so happy right now to see the three of us working together, shopping for deals, using a Kohl's coupon. This church was really important to her. She taught Mother's Day out. She taught my class a number of years. She also taught CCD, Sunday school. She taught me. She was here volunteering for every rummage sale, the fall festival. If the church needed her, she was there. My parents were really involved in the marriage encounter program through the Catholic Church. My dad's talked a lot recently about how important that was for them. And after they got married, they sponsored other couples. We met a couple last night that said that my parents sponsored them as they were getting married, and that couple now has been together for 40 years. They made an impact on so many people. After my mom retired, she brought communion to people that were too sick to come to church. One of the places she did that was a memory care center. And after she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, she kept going, facing her disease face to face. She was so committed and so brave, she kept doing that. And she did that all the way up until our family had to ask her to stop because her symptoms were too bad. So her faith, prayer, service, all of those things have been a through line through our lives, through her grandkids' lives, and I know that that will be passed on for generations. Also want to just note what an amazing marriage she had with my dad. They met when my mom was 14 and my dad was 16. Like's been said, they were married 52 years, and they were such an amazing model of love and commitment for us, for our friends, for family, anybody that met them. And we want to say thank you to our dad for being there for her over the decades, but especially these last 6 years and the way that he was able to show up and be there for my mom and take care of her. I think he did more than 99% of people could. He did more than I think I could. And he's somehow had just superhuman strength through that. It means the world to us. So my mom, that was so much fun. Loved the family, loved the church so much. I think that she would really appreciate that we get to go next door here in a minute and fellowship together and talk and chat and eat. So you're all welcome to join us for that.